be better this time.
You can't really hear it, though.
No.
No, you
But
can't.
I'm pouring beer all over the table.
That seems to me like you said it's going to be better this time. And that was how you say asking for it.
It was not better.
So, Julie, an interesting thing just happened to me.
What?
I went to look up this episode on Amazon in case we needed to refer to it in the recording of our podcast, because I own it on Amazon, despite the fact that I have a Star subscription, because we Midwesterners love nothing so much as redundancy. And I Googled Outlander on Amazon, and do you know what came up as a suggested search?
What?
The official Outlander Walker's shortbread. There's a picture of them on it and everything. And it's the crazy thing is you can see right in the middle of his kilt, there's one giant cookie.
Just one big shortbread?
Yeah. And it's like, it looks moist, but firm.
Mm-hmm. Hard.
Sweet.
Yes.
But a little salty.
Yeah. Oh, of course.
Just a little.
They don't bathe a lot. I mean...
Yeah, plus the junk oil. I mean, I just can't. First of all, I can't believe that it took cross marketing this long. Like, no one was like, you know what? Synergy!
No.
Until now.
It's because they listen to our podcast.
Janine has already turned me down, guys, and I haven't even had anything to drink yet. Welcome to Podlander Drunkcast and Outlander Podcast. I am Allison.
I'm Julie.
And that's Janine.
Hey!
And we are joined today by a very special guest. We have been really excited about this one for a while. Say hello to Jen Moniz, everybody.
Hi, Mom.
Yes.
Oh, is she going to listen to this one?
Kathleen,
she better.
Listen, welcome, Kathleen. Thank you so much for being a patron on this, the first episode you've ever heard. We're really excited to have Jen here. She's been a supporter of the podcast since the beginning. She is also somebody Julie and I know from the Chicago theater world. May it rest in peace.
Yeah, pretty much.
So we're really excited to talk to her, and specifically thought she would want to talk about this episode as it is a real winner. Mm-hmm. And by that, I mean incredibly depressing, but very well done.
Yes, it is season 1, episode 11, The Devil's Mark.
The Devil's Mark.
You guys know where this is going, right? You know where it's going. You've known since the very beginning. You've known when she touched a dick rock and went back to Scotland that at some point
she would get a clit piercing.
She would A, get a clit piercing.
I don't know. I was trying to come up with an alternate Devil's Mark.
And B, be accused of being a witch, because you've all been asking, why doesn't everyone think she's a witch? Well, here you go.
You know, that's really true. I remember reading the recap, and again, for those so Kathleen, for those just tuning in, Allison, have read all of the books and most of the novellas, including The Outlandish Companion, Volumes 1 and 2, which includes such Trevors as A Floor Plan of Lallybroch.
Oh, my God.
Julie has read none of that ish.
Zero zilch.
Jen, why don't you talk to us about your reading habits?
I have read books 1 through 3.
Right in the middle.
Yeah, well, yes, but it seemed like a good sort of natural stopping place. The third book, which we won't say why.
Yeah.
Because Julie's, that would be spoilers.
I'm innocent. So naive.
So we've got a rich, savory stew of knowledge here. I was going to say clam jam, and then I realized I think I was thinking of clam jam fry, which is a word that I only know because of a monologue about a play about spelling bees.
Is that a word?
Clam jam fry. CLAMJAMFRY. Clam jam
that can't
fry.
be one word.
That is one word.
What does it mean?
Janine, go ahead and Google clam jam fry for us.
I'm sorry. It probably will.
All one word.
The worst cookies are going to be in your browser after this.
Clam jam fry. All one word.
Clam jam fry, definition by... well, it's chiefly Scottish.
Oh, hey!
Appropriate.
Appropriate.
I totally knew that. No, I didn't.
It doesn't actually give me a definition.
No, fuck you, Merriam-Webster. It's a real word. Anyway.
Rabble, mob. odds and end rubbish.
Oh my God. That is incredibly appropriate for this
It's
episode.
great. This episode is a real clam jam fry.
It is
Absolutely.
a real clam jam
Scottish
fry.
for clusterfuck.
Rabble, crowd, assholes, crowd, fucking
Cloud,
torch mob,
It's a murder of
buttholes.
buttholes. A junk oil of buttholes.
Oh God, they're everywhere.
So I don't even know where to start for this one. Let's say this.
I know.
How about this is a guidepost. We've decided, since this is after spreading out a number of episodes, think about the leisurely pace of the first 5 or 6. Think about Rent. Think about the amount of time we spend walking wool. All of the business about Claire pissing in a bucket.
Yep.
All that shit. Think about the nice leisurely pace those episodes take. And then in one episode, basically all of the things happen.
Right.
So we've decided we're going to split this sucker in 2. And for this episode, you are getting the witch trial. And for the next episode, you are getting 92 seconds of bean flicking.
Plus
and some
the
very
reveal.
complicated conversations.
Right.
But mostly 92 seconds of bean flicking.
Which will take at least 20, 30 minutes to
Oh, yeah.
dissect
It'll be the
properly.
bulk of the episode.
Yeah,
We're going to dissect
We
that.
really have to break that
We're
down.
going to bust out the junk oil and have a real conversation. But for now, let's talk about this witch trial, which it has to be said, first of all, is the single best showcase that we get for Lottie Verbeek in the series. And I think that she's one of the MVPs of the whole show.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, ladies?
Absolutely.
So we open with birds doing that thing that I love, where they're in a big group and they all seem to move at the same time, like a school of fish. And I'm watching that and I'm thinking, I'm sure that'll come back, right? I'm sure that's got to come back, and it does.
Got to be a metaphor. Yeah.
It does. It's total metaphor. And then here we are. Claire and Geillis are being led into the courtroom. Yay.
Yay.
Yeah. And I wrote down here, okay, here it is. Literally my worst nightmare.
Being put on trial for being a witch.
Yes, a witch trial. It's because you can't win. There's not, you're fucked from the moment you go in there.
The only way to get out of it is if you actually are a witch.
Yes. Yeah, you know what? Never mind. I don't mind it so much.
It's a catch-22.
I
If you
won't
were
say
a witch,
anymore.
you could totally escape from
You're
your own
right.
witch
There's
trial.
this
But if you're
not
not,
to, like-
you're just screwed.
Briefly, this is the sound of me pushing. I don't know. I made a noise, guys. That's the sound of me pushing up the glasses that I'm not wearing.
How about
'cause I
more
didn't
like
wear
this?
my glasses today.
Like
Julie,
that.
that's great. That's great. You can hear the click of the plastic against your nasal cavity. Not to push up my glasses too much, but there's a great side note in the Harry Potter books where they talk about Harry has to write an essay on why witch burning was a completely ineffective and useless practice by the Muggles because any witch could perform an anti-burning charm, some kind of temporary freezing charm, which made it feel like you were being tickled, like you were getting a nice warm tickly feeling. And some witches, one in particular, enjoyed it so much that they repeatedly got themselves caught just so they could experience it.
That's kinky.
And then get away, presumably by like transfiguring themselves into a raven or something, and flying into the
Right.
sky to the next bumpkin village, where they proceed to have sex with the laird's brother and then murder their
I
husband.
feel like that last part was not in Harry Potter.
No, that part wasn't Harry Potter. No.
I will say that maybe Geillis
And I
does
think-
enjoy.
oh, and I think maybe her name was Wendell in the Weird. Oh God.
Oh wow, it is the same.
I'm pretty sure her name was Wendell in the Weird. I am not sure how I know that. The same way I know Clam Jam Fry, I think, guys. Anyway.
So it opens on them in the hole. They're being held in the ground.
Thieves' hole.
It's very cold and gross. And Geillis straight up admits, I poisoned Arthur. And Claire's like, duh.
Yeah, bitch. Tell us something we don't know.
Mm-hmm. And I can't remember what Geillis says, but she's talking about how she's going to get out of it. And Claire's like, don't try. Don't try to talk your way out of it. I know you did it. And so what was she saying? Something about King Arthur? I have that for something, but I don't know. I think that's later. That might be in the actual trial. So my notes, I got distracted a lot during this episode because I cried a lot.
Yeah. It's upsetting. It was more upsetting this time than the previous 5 or 6 times that I watched it. Oh, it's real. It's because they keep introducing people to Outlander.
And this is a great episode.
Yeah. So eventually I'd be like, oh, no, well, I'll just watch this one. Oh, I'll just watch this one. Okay. Yeah. Well, okay. Once you get to the witch trial, I have to watch that one with you.
Oh, it's because one of the guys comes over to throw bread at them or something through the thieves' hole. And Claire says something like, you have to let me out. I am Claire Beecham of something, something. And he goes, well, then I'm King Arthur. And Geillis says, surely King Arthur was more appealing than that slimy puddock. Which I thought was very funny.
You know, Geillis, I'm glad you keep your spirit up when you're down in that hole. But the gravity of the situation does seem to demand a different response.
It seems that maybe you don't believe what's about to happen to you.
Well, and we do get there eventually, right? Because that's one of the keys to this episode, because we spend so much time in a literal hole in the ground with Geillis and Claire. And I think one of the keys is Claire, why it is that Claire just doesn't outright just say, no one's fucking coming to rescue you. This all happened on purpose, right? This isn't an accident. Like, we're both in here because we're getting fucked. And you're especially getting fucked because you fucked the wrong person. I'm just, my quest to earn that iTunes explicit rating. Oh,
man, we earned that like 30 seconds into the very first episode we ever did. We're never going back.
You get to choose. Do you want a default explicit rating or do you want a mark? And I'm like, no, it's always going to be fucking explicit.
I can't stop myself from F-bombs.
I mean, we did start with the dick joke, so there's that too.
Yeah.
Anyway, watching Claire's reactions to Geillis and Geillis's reactions to Claire are the thing that really make this episode work for me. And as outside of the horrifying plot, which to me always makes this particular practice in history feel a little bit more real than things like The Crucible, because The Crucible is such a political parable, and because the quote-unquote bad guy in The Crucible is a woman and the protagonist of The Crucible is a fucking man. It just feels I don't know. It just always makes it feel real to me. I guess because of time travel. We tell a lot of jokes about touching those dick rocks, but time travel is a pretty useful storytelling tool sometimes.
Yeah.
So outside of that, the thing that really makes it work for me is watching Claire and Geillis react to each other. These two women who have been sort of squaring off. One seems to sort of have an agenda that the other one probably doesn't have. They both clearly have secrets. They seem to like and admire each other while resenting each other openly at the same time. I was reminded of is it the previous episode where the Fairy Hill? Yeah, the previous episode where Geillis is trying to slowly talk Claire out of going up to this hill. And Claire's like, I'm not going to let a baby die. And Geillis is like, fine, do it your fucking self then.
Yeah.
Nutcase.
Hashtag Geillis aside. Jen and I both agree.
Yeah, we've had this discussion. You leave the baby.
Yeah. You hear a baby crying in the woods, keep on walking.
No good can come from going after that baby.
So that is right after Geillis makes that little joke is when Claire's like, we're fucked. Here's what happened to Dougal. Jamie's gone. Nobody is coming to save us. That's it. And then I believe that's when they come to pull them out.
Yeah, and the look on Geillis' face when she realizes, oh, I don't have this all figured out.
Right.
Oh,
Duncan's not coming. I mean, Duncan won't save me. I don't necessarily believe he's not coming.
Well, I mean, his wife's dead.
Wherever he is.
His wife's dead. His mistress is in a hole in the ground. And Dougal,
he's like,
the gilf is a gilf.
He's like walking around in a cloud.
I would G that ilf.
Yeah. He's just walking around in like a cloud of jizz.
Yeah. But at the same time, he doesn't seem particularly smooth, right?
No.
Like all of his, Claire, you are the most extraordinary woman.
Grind your core.
Grind your core.
No, that's not subtle at all.
No, and it doesn't make a lady want to drop all 19 of her skirts. Right?
And yet.
What I'm saying is I'm not sure that Dougal has locked up another side piece in the short time.
Not quite yet. It's only been one day. It'll take him at least another 3 hours.
He's going to be based on the last eepisode, he's going to be hungover for at least 48 hours.
Oh, gross.
And he's not a young man.
No, it takes him a while to recover. So Geillis has the realization, oh, I'm fucked. And then they come and drag him out of the hole. And then, of course, there's the clam jam fry You're gonna burn witches, and it's a lady. Burn the witches, and I'm like, bitch, you're next. Throughout this entire episode, anytime a woman appears that seems to be like, she is a witch and she does this, I'm like, you're next. You're next. And then I cried again. Okay, so they get led into the courtroom. There are 3 judges. Guess what they are? Yes. Yes, Janine.
Janine said men, in case you couldn't hear
They are all men.
That's okay, because I'm going to guess that 99% of our listenership is female, and you all said men, whether you've seen the show or not. I will also accept white men, dudes, white dudes, dicks,
Old folk.
white dicks, old folks, or hobbits.
Yeah.
Oh, hobbits are fun.
Yeah. I mean, not if they're putting you on a witch trial.
No, fuck that.
I'd be like, burn the elf. And they'd be like, no, we're not elves, we're hobbits. And I'd be like, no, God, I can't push my glasses up about that one too. I'm not that big fan of Lord of the Rings.
I also forgot one little detail. When they're getting dragged in, right before they go into the room with the 3 dudes, the 3 asshole judges, the pyres are actually already being built.
Efficiency.
Right.
If there's one thing that Scots love, it's redundancy.
So they've got it's a foregone conclusion that they're going to be called witches. And why are we even having this trial anyway? It's so that everybody can go home and fuck their wives a little bit harder. I don't know.
It seems like to me this is a good opportunity for us all to take a drink.
Cheers.
And with that, Julie, maybe you want to tell us a little bit about what we're drinking?
Yes. As always, we love Empirical Brewery. Thank you, Empirical Brewery, for this week's growler. Once again, we're drinking our favorite, their rye cream ale. It is delicious. Empirical Brewery, exploring the science of beer.
Empiricalbrewery.com. Oh, we have coasters. We have little coasters now.
Well, we've always
we always had the coasters, and I'm such a bitch.
I think we just get lit a little too early.
Yeah, maybe we come in already drunk, and this time, since we had a visitor, we decided to behave.
I think it's more likely that maybe we were all working today. I mean, at least I was working. It's
Or the fact
Christmas
that it's
retail.
25 degrees below zero outside.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, something like that. Why, thank you, Janine. I will have another beer. I'm going to need it because Jesus fucking Christ.
Okay, so they go in and there's the assholes. And
can we just for a moment of light briefly, because it also seems like a natural place to go before we go and continue to talk about how awful these people are. Can we just skip just for a moment ahead to the part when the episode's one of the 2 knights in shining armor in this episode shows up?
it's the next.
Is it right now?
It happens right away.
Well, let's hit it, Ned fucking Gowan.
Yeah. Because they're about to be tried with no representation. No lawyer, no nothing, right?
The good old days.
Yeah, the good old days. And who shows up, Janine, but Ned Gowan, to offer his services is an incredible lawyer.
Hit us with that name again, Janine.
Ned Gowan.
I think it's Patterson.
It's
Bill Patterson.
Bill Patterson.
Bill Patterson.
Booyah.
Bill, handsome but short Patterson. Bill wears a wig like nobody's business Patterson.
His IMDb photo is him in a lab coat, doing this kind of like action.
Awesome.
It is really funny. I like him.
So in the book, Jen, did you have a reaction when Ned Gowan showed up?
I did not have a reaction. When
Did
Ned
you
Gowan
expect
showed
it?
up.
Was it kind of like, oh,
It's not quite as dramatic.
It
in the
isn't
book.
quite as dramatic in the book, and also
Ah.
I don't think that you're as invested in Ned Gowan in the books. At least
Ah.
I wasn't, as I am on the show.
Yeah, in the book, my reaction was mostly, oh, thank fucking Christ, somebody is there for Claire. In this, Ned Gowan is cool in the books. He actually gets cooler. Oh, shit, I guess that's a spoiler.
not really. Look, I don't care. It's fine.
All right, he gets cooler. Oh, but I'm not sure the show will actually do it, though, so
Yeah, we
so
don't know.
who knows if you'll ever see Ned Gowan again. Anyway,
Ned Gowan, I hope I see you again. Everybody, let's go to Ned Gowan's Twitter page this week.
oh my God.
Let's do it.
Look it up.
Hey, this
Yeah.
would be a really good opportunity to say thank you to all the people
Yes!
that Fitzmobbed.
Yes, she was so happy.
I got retweeted by her. Yeah.
Jen was the
She
one who got
loved my
retweeted.
tweet.
The number of you who went and just tweet like Fitzmobbed, and then the random other Outlander fans who haven't yet caught on to the best podcast about Outlander.
Where are
out
you?
there?
Shh, Get it together.
who also liked it. It seemed like it organically, other people who don't know about the show were like, yeah, oh, she's great. Who doesn't love Mrs. Fitz? She's the one really keeping the trains running on time. And,
Right.
Yeah, well, but really, we're not here because we love Mrs. Fitz. We're here because we
love
Annette Badland.
One. But yeah, this week it's going to be Bill Patterson. If he has a Twitter page, I don't know. He's kind of an old British crusty dude. Maybe he doesn't.
What if the hashtag is Gowan for it?
Yes.
Yeah?
Hashtag Gowan for it.
Gowan for it.
Maybe this is where it is. I was having a hard. There's a lot of Bill Pattersons out there. Bill Patterson.
Pretty
That's a
common
pretty
name.
white name.
Yeah. It is a pretty white name.
He might actually have one. His website though is wonderful.
Does he have like a comments or a send us a message?
He has contact. The only way you can contact him is via his email and this form on his email.
Oh my
On
God,
his
please.
website, on his website, pardon me.
Okay, what's the website?
Well, the website is Bill Patterson, PATERSON.co.uk.
Bill Patterson with 1t.co.uk. Go to his contact page and send him an email saying how much you love Ned Gowan and you love his episodes, particularly the witch trial. And then even though it won't work that way,
It doesn't
you
matter.
just go ahead and include the hashtag Gowan for it.
Yes,
I have
that's
a gift.
amazing.
What can I say?
That's amazing. If we do find a Twitter handle for him, we will. But I think he might just be
You can also just tweet your appreciation for him regardless. Tweet it to Outlander Stars.
Yeah,
They'll retweet it.
Outlander Stars will retweet it.
Right, and just
retweet.
hashtag Gowan for it.
But do keep that hashtag because it's really good.
So to
Good
answer
job,
your
Allison.
question, and Jen, I am glad to know this was your response too. And if you have anything to add, please let me know. Seeing him like burst in like fucking Clarence Darrow or some
Yes,
shit.
he did do that.
Right? He's like Atticus Finch. He just shows up and makes it clear that he is really not supposed to be there and no one told him to come and he does not have the Laird's blessing.
Right.
But keeping in mind that the last time we spent any significant length of time with Ned Gowan, other than when he's trying to get the Duke of Sandringham to help Jamie without fucking him in the butthole.
Or putting his finger up his butt or whatever
Right,
they
or
kept
whatever.
saying. I don't know.
Rubbing on some chunk oil.
Yeah.
This is going to be even better. Never mind.
Yeah.
It's going to be even better.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Was when Claire was like, oh, I understand how all this works. Penny for you, penny for the Laird, and accusing him of essentially like fake war
Stealing
profiteering,
money.
right? Like of driving up fervor to get money so that they could steal from the Laird. And she was wrong, of course, because they were actually political fundraising, whatever, for Bjorn Start. We haven't talked about him in a while.
No.
BPD.
BPD. He's
Yeah,
coming.
you
He'll
know
come
me.
Back. He'll come back.
He gets his due.
Yeah, I'm just going to say we talk about him enough in season 2. So if you're a listener that just started listening to us while we started with season 1, just know season 2 is real heavy on the BPD.
Nicole Gladwin.
This one's for you.
You're going to get a lot of nicknames in season 2 once you get there. And it is not our favorite, which we won't tell you, which is the very first one. But it is a good one. BPD. That's
Bonnie Prince
Bonnie
douche.
Prince douche. Anyway, so the last time they really interacted, it was really negative. It was like a really, really negative interaction because she wasn't a part of those interactions with Jamie either. And then he shows up like a goddamn hero. And you know what? Sometimes you just hold out for a hero.
Sometimes
You know?
you need
You need a hero.
Yeah.
You need
He's got to be strong in the law. He's got to be fast.
and he's
when
got to make
speaking.
it till the morning light.
It's got to be fresh for the fight.
Fresh for the fight. He
There
is
you go.
fresh for this fight, though. He's ready.
And for a while, it seems like it's going to work. It seems
Yeah.
like he's going to.
He's doing that lawyer trickery. He's
Oh,
a
yeah.
regular Sam Waterston. Was that Selicut?
That works.
Is there a better one?
That fucking
Is
works.
he just doing?
He's a regular Ally McBeal.
He's doing the Jason Segal from How I Met Your Mother, just lawyering it, huh?
Oh, I never did that. How I
Actually,
Met Your
he's
Mother.
more like, and this is kind of a deep cut, so I'll be forgiven if you guys don't get it. But he's a little bit more Denny Crane.
Oh, very nice.
Remember William Shatner on
That's not a deep cut. Come on, everybody
Denny
knows the
Crane.
Shat.
God, I love the. And you know who's good friends with Shats?
Who?
Sam Hewen. They hang out.
Oh, I did know that.
Yeah.
And he's a big fan of the show.
Yeah. So hey, what's up, Shats?
All right, so I'm pretty sure, Shats. I'm pretty sure that neither the Shats nor the Stars listen to the show.
Yeah.
But I'm going to take this opportunity to say, well, I think we should draw more attention to Outlander. We should get more people watching it. The way to do that is not to give William Shatner a cameo. Please don't give William Shatner a goddamn
but
cameo.
no, please do.
No!
Please
No!
do.
No, it would be so distracting.
Oh, but I love him so much.
Yes, but like then have him do all of the behind the scenes interviews. Like have him do
He really likes doing documentary shit like that.
right like the fucking Talking Dead.
Well, what if he's
Outlander.
like, what if they bring him in to play like a boot black or somewhere that has like 2 lines and then he's gone?
That's distracting. That's
Oh, come on.
that's like seeing oh god, Marvel. What's the goddamn author's name?
Stanley.
Stan Lee and all the fucking like. You look for that moment, and you're
You
just
and
like,
I are maybe the only people on the planet that hate the Stanley cameos.
Oh, no, you're not.
Ooh, that was stone cold. She was ready. No, you're not.
She was ready.
No, you're not.
Anyway, no William Shatner.
So
Bring it
Denny,
back to
Ned Gowan, hashtag Gowan for it, like Denny Crane, flies into the courtroom, this kangaroo court, if you will, because that's how I feel about it, and so should everybody else. And then he starts doing the thing where people get up to give their testimony about, oh, I saw her take a shit behind a tree, and the shit was green, so she's obviously a witch shit. And him being like, but when you take a shit, isn't it also green? Like that kind of lawyer stuff. Or aren't you just mad that she's hotter than you are? Or all that stuff, like turning their testimony on their heads and making them look bad. And then all of a sudden, everyone in the crowd is a little bit like, huh.
But with a wink and a smile.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like
No,
Harry Connick Jr.
He's enjoying it. He is on stage and he's eating it up.
He's kindly. He's a kindly lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
All that education in Edinburgh is really paying off.
Yeah,
God,
actually,
it's
my note
just-
was Ned Gowan, exclamation point. Thank God I'm crying.
I want, fair listeners, I want you to know, we ended up, last week, the weather fucking kicked us in the nuts. We didn't even have our junk oil. It kicked us right in the nuts. And we had to cancel because we just couldn't. Jen and Julie and I all happened to live like 2 blocks from each other. That's not exaggeration. And we couldn't fucking get out of the neighborhood. We couldn't get out of the neighborhood. Poor Janine was here ready. He had chili. He was ready to welcome us.
I had the 2 growlers. I was sitting here going, "Hey, it's snowing. Someone save me and hang out with me. I'm lonely."
And then he saw us on Facebook at the bar next to our house.
We also happen to live 2 blocks from a bar where I get a discount.
So,
Anyway,
cheers. Thanks, Janine.
we love you, Janine. So, point being that the day that we were supposed to record it, Julie rewatched the episode and showed up. Julie and Jen both showed up at my side gig to walk over to this bar together since we couldn't record the show. And Julie was like, "My eyes hurt."
Oh, no. Allison's like, did you put on makeup? Do you have an eyeliner? And I was like, yes, but it's really just camouflage to hide my cry balls because I've basically been crying all day. Yeah. Cry balls.
Cry balls.
That's new for me.
Man, it's a good one. If you cry really hard and you wake up the next morning, they're all puffy and it's a little bit red on the top there. That's cry balls.
Cry balls.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
If you're like me and fucking so Irish it hurts, you get cry balls if you accidentally poke yourself in the eye with an eyeliner. Oh, no. You get cry balls if you see one long distance commercial in November. You get cry balls basically immediately.
The one with the gum commercial where the little girl saves all the little paper cranes that her dad folded out of gum wrappers.
Yeah.
That's good.
Cry balls.
Cry balls. You know what made me tear up this week? The commercial where the suave old dude. Jen's got a little cry balls literally right now. You got a little moist. One eye is a little moist.
No. Because
It's 'cause it's
I'm one of those
Twinkies.
laugh till I cry people. So
Oh,
I'm trying not to laugh too hard. And then that's
good. That makes me feel
So
good.
the commercial that made me cry this week was the old guy in the Speedo who takes his cell phone and plays some like rowdy piece of classical music and puts it down in a little puddle on a table by the pool and walks up the diving board and hands a little girl his sunglasses and then performs this beautiful dive. It's a joke commercial and it made me cry this week.
I think we're all crying all the time. Oh, but anyway, let's move on.
Ned Gowan.
So
Gowan.
the first person to give their testimony is Jeannie, who is actually Geillis' housekeeper. And so she's got all the hot shiz on Geillis and is like laying it out. And I'm like, Jeannie, you're next.
I will say this.
No,
well,
Ned
Jeannie
Gowan
is
just
fucking
destroys
hot.
her
Yeah.
immediately, like,
Yeah.
without any effort at all.
Yeah.
I will say that is a good reason to remember that no matter how rich your fucking fat farting husband is, you should always be nice to the people who work for you.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah.
Because you never know
I mean, you're
when
going to get
gonna be
accused of witchcraft.
brought up on witchcraft charges and they're going to come out and say some bullshit that all the idiots believe. And then all of a sudden you're on fire.
Oh, ugh.
Yeah.
All right. But then Jen is right. Ned Gowan just lays waste to Jeannie. She's out.
And then he hits the little bell, goes ding, next.
Oh yeah, because she had tried to get a job at Castle Leoc and had been turned down. And he's like, I seem to see that you had tried to get a job at Castle Leoc and got turned down, and so you are now mad at the Mackenzies, and maybe you're trying to take this out on Claire too. I don't know. Whatever. It's some bullshit excuse.
Yeah. Actually,
Well, because she wanted to quit her job
Mm-hmm.
and then also tried to get a job at a place she couldn't.
Right.
So both sides.
Mm-hmm.
That's, by the way, defaming a witness, which is something that in most circumstances we would frown upon.
Not now.
Not here.
Nope. Pardon me. And then who's the next one? Oh, Rabita Donaldson. She's the one with the weakling baby in the
Yeah,
tree.
you know, I can't hate on that lady. She's been made stupid by grief. Which just doesn't sound kind.
Haven't we
but
all?
I swear to God it is. People
So-
get made stupid by all kinds of things.
She's really sad because it was her baby in the tree. Now, see if Claire had just done what Jen and I would have done,
we just leave the baby.
which is just keep walking.
Yeah.
That would have been one less witness at our witch trial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll
In
notice,
fact, that's how I'm going to live the rest of my life. One less witness at my witch trial.
That's a tattoo.
Yeah, just saying. Anytime the opportunity arises for me to ignore something that I don't need to be messing with or to be kind to somebody, there it is. Because in my mind, I'll think there's one less witness at my witch trial. Mm-hmm. I think you guys should
That's
all think
living
about
right,
that.
yeah.
That's like, that'll bring kindness back.
I, on
maybe.
the other hand, I'm just gonna fucking burn. I just can't. Yesterday on Twitter, I tried to convince a guy who is a giant Wonder Woman fan that being pissed because Wonder Woman is bisexual is bad.
I caught that. Like that.
I tried
thread.
really hard. I'm trying really hard when people are fans of the arts and they're being intolerant to say, like, have you considered this thing? And I just shouldn't, because then it became, eventually I was like, maybe, perhaps, don't, and the whole thing, oh God, I don't want to get into the whole whatever, but Gail Simone, who's a comic book writer, like an extremely accomplished comic book writer, who wrote for Wonder Woman for a long time and has done Batgirl and was one of the people who really helped shape Deadpool, and then she eventually got mansplained what Deadpool was in line to see the movie.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So she's great on Twitter.
There's
very
one more person
fun.
to testify against me in my witch trials, whoever that person is.
So Gail Simone is the best.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody was up in her shit saying they didn't understand why one person had ruined Wonder Woman for everyone by deciding she was bisexual. And I just stuck my head in there, and I shouldn't have. And eventually we got to the point where I was like, listen, if you're upset that little girls are being inspired to not kill themselves because there's a fictional character who's not straight, maybe think why you're mad that little girls don't want to kill themselves. Like, maybe. And he was like, I'm sorry I said anything. I'm like, no, it's not that you said something. Because it's more that you think something. So just like maybe think about that, especially given what a fan you are of comic books, the number of queer artists and writers who work in comic books. And he said, yeah, but not all of the artists and writers. And then I was out. I was like, nope, I'm done. I'm done.
How is that even a
There is absolutely no way to guarantee that you're only consuming art created by straight people. And in fact, if you are,
That's some lame ass art.
First of all, you are wrong because you just are. Like, especially comics, like a letterer or somebody is fucking queer. You know, like somebody is not a cisgendered straight person.
Mm-hmm.
And second, God, you're missing out on so much.
Mm-hmm.
And not just RuPaul's Drag Race.
But that's enough.
Dude,
but that's
just
real
on its
high on
own.
the list.
Literally, that could just be the one thing you sell.
Right?
If you're really gonna ignore all things that are not straight, then you're fucking yourself up.
Yeah. You're missing out on RuPaul's Drag Race and Project Runway.
Ugh.
All of the cooking shows.
Yes.
All of them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I would say this is from a long time ago, but Queer Eye for the Straight Guy, I love that show.
That was a good
An
show.
excellent show. Yes,
I
but
learned a lot.
so that guy,
Novelist,
witness number 3
movies.
at your witch trial.
Oh,
Yeah, there you go.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm fucked. I'm totally fucked.
That's why you're going to
You
buy
should see I once got called
everyone-
a member of the Artsy Vagina Club for saying that an episode of Sherlock that was trying to be feminist was actually sexist. The Artsy Vagina Club, which is what the AV Club is. The AV Club covers fucking professional wrestling.
Is Artsy Vagina like vajazzled or like what's...
Oh, I think it means...
Oh, yeah, that's real.
I think it means that I'm a delicate snowflake who has a period.
Oh, okay. All right. Mm-hmm.
Although I don't anymore. Thank you, IUD, that I got before
Mine doesn't do
the
that.
impending Trump presidency.
Yeah, I did the same thing.
Yeah, up top.
Right? That's
Ugh.
great.
All right, so she says, my baby fairy, the fairy didn't come get my baby. And then I saw this woman holding it and it was dead. So it's very obviously her fault. She's a witch.
Ooh, is this the first time that Claire opens her big fucking mouth?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
I believe. Yeah.
The horrible time travel.
She's such a bad time traveler.
Yeah, she really is just the worst.
Yeah. And then I'm like, hey, Rabita Donaldson, you're next. And then this one, Ned, is like way more sensitive.
Yeah.
And way more kind because he very clearly understands that this is a woman who cannot read, probably doesn't understand a lot about life or science or
It's
anything.
like that point that Jamie makes in the previous episode where he says most of these people have never been further than 10 miles from this exact spot.
Right. And how does he talk her down off of it? I can't remember.
The mother?
Yeah.
What he says, why didn't you stop her from touching the child? If you
Ooh,
knew
that's
touching
right.
the child was going to mean
That's
that
right.
the child was going to be doomed, why didn't you stop her? You were too scared. You poor thing. You were so scared.
That's right. He starts out kind and then kind of stabs her in the gut.
Yeah.
That's right. He
It's
takes
so lawyerly. It's amazing.
going for it.
Yeah.
Hashtag going for it with
Yeah.
a knife to the stomach is kind of what that one was. That's
Yeah.
right. You almost feel bad for her.
Oh,
Yeah.
let's say like a knife to the boob.
A knife to the
She
boob.
just had a baby.
You're right.
leave
Let's
that part
protect
of the
that part.
body alone.
So,
So-
the knife to the boob is nicer?
Yeah.
Guys, can I go dark for a second?
Yeah, do it
I
for
mean,
a
it's
second.
not like
Yeah.
she's breastfeeding.
Oh!
Well done.
I want it to know that I'm holding my own tits when I say this.
All right. So witness number 2 dispatched with by the fine Ned Gowan.
Indeed.
And what was
Gowan
it?
for
How does Claire say you don't believe in fairies? Well, like, what does she say that's so dumb?
No, it's just her being like, no, I was just trying to help it. I was just trying, as
Right.
opposed to just keeping her fucking mouth shut.
Yeah. Talking at this point
And you know
is not
what?
helping.
She doesn't have a fucking excuse because she was alive in the goddamn 20th century when she understood how media works, right? Like how
Right.
public opinion works. Mm-hmm. She would understand, not in the way that we did post, say, like Kennedy, but she would understand that public opinion is shaped by the shit you say, most of the time not by the shit you don't say.
Right.
Right? Like if you keep your mouth shut, you personally are likely to be better off. The world, however, will go down a fucking dumpster fire.
Yeah.
But you personally are likely to be better off if you
Yeah.
talk less and smile more.
Music Hamilton!
Number 1! Nailed it!
Hamilton
Is there
reference.
more beer?
There
Yes.
is. I'll get it. You guys
Okay,
keep
so
talking.
Janine's going to grab our second growler. Is this one of the Comet Smash that's coming up? Sweet.
We're gonna need a bigger boat.
Looks
Yeah,
like
I got
a,
plenty of stuff going on.
Yeah.
I picked the wrong week to stop sniffing glue.
Actually, can I grab the not count smash, but one one of you guys those stuff?
Yeah, but just grab an opener. All right, so we're
That, by the way, is Samuel Smith's winter warmer and 2 cans of whatever Jen brought.
Oh, 4 cans,
4
actually.
cans
Oh,
of
sweet.
Yeah, whatever. Guys, we came prepared. This shit does not fuck around.
no.
Yeah.
So then they take a little recess from the court, and Ned takes Geillis and Claire to the back room and is like, "Stop talking. Do not talk anymore. No matter what you say, they will use it against you. You need to stop talking and let me do my job. Let me gowan for it."
And it should be clear, he says this to both of them, Geillis has been keeping her mouth shut.
Yeah, Geillis hasn't said shit.
Geillis has been given a lot of side-eye, but Geillis has kept it together.
Right.
Perhaps because Geillis comes from a slightly different time where she's familiar with Dragnet. Right? Dragnet would have been on in 1968.
I believe so.
We would have gotten to cop shows by 1968.
Oh, yeah.
I was going to say, I mean, that period, it would have just been after, like, I mean, even though she was in Scotland, the like House Un-American Activities Committee and other things like that happening in the States. So the modern day witch trials were happening.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So she would know the best thing you can do is keep your goddamn mouth shut.
Shut your trap.
Like it's one thing if there's no one to speak up for you and you are the only person that can defend yourself. But when a tiny, magical, bewigged human comes a creeping into the courtroom to save your ass, you shut your mouth.
Yeah, and let him do his job.
And you know what? I don't ever say, "Hey,
Lady,
woman who
shut
wants
up."
to speak her mind, shut your mouth." I don't ever say that. But when you're a goddamn time traveler,
And you're
I say you keep your clam jam fried.
Clam jam fry.
That worked for me.
Yeah, thank you.
jam fry.
Thanks, guys. Playing with language.
Then another guy stands up and this asshole's talking about how he saw her like create lightning or some shit.
I saw Goody Proctor speaking with the devil.
Exactly, something like that. And I was like, this weather guy asshole, whatever.
I love that Ned doesn't even try to shut that one down. He kind of just looks around the room like, do you believe this asshole?
And that's like this asshole, this fucking guy. Okay, whatever.
He basically says SRSLY.
SRSL.
SRSL. No, hold on. SRSLY.
So then that's the end of the day, and they're ready to burn him. But Ned's like, we need more time. I need to work on my case or something. And so they go back, and Ned gives him a little bottle of eau de vie to take with him into the hole to stay warm. And then Claire,
like a good lawyer should.
Thanks.
Smuggling contraband in. He didn't even have to jam it up his butthole.
No, he didn't.
He did not have to Maria full of grace any of it.
But we do find out that Colum did not send him, and that, in fact, Colum might have had something to do with them being on trial.
Which, duh. I mean, when Dougal is like, "Hey, by the way, that woman, I knocked her up, and she is obviously trouble, but let's go ahead and bring her into the family and make shit really complicated." Colum, being Colum, was like, "Nah. I think I'm going to send you the fuck away while you sleep off your fucking crazy over your dead wife that you didn't ever see or care about.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to send some people to take care of this witch problem." And, Claire's there. Whoops.
Get her in there too. I'm tired of her.
No, I think in whatever spoiler section, this doesn't matter so much. I think in season 2 we learned that was mostly a whoops, but that once it happened, he didn't give enough of a damn to do anything about it. Because then he gets the positive bonus of then maybe Jamie can actually be the laird, blah-de-blah.
Right. Oh,
Yeah.
because he is no longer married to a British wench.
And Colum is anti-Dougal,
Yeah.
whereas Dougal is weirdly pro-anti-Colum, right?
He loves him, but he's just they're weird.
Siblings are complicated.
Yeah. It's weird.
But the one relationship doesn't seem so complicated. Colum to Dougal seems like, you're my brother, but Jesus fucking
what
Christ.
an idiot.
Whereas Dougal seems mostly like, cry, 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 I hate you, I love you, I hate you, I love you, I hate you, I love you.
Yeah, it's older brother, younger brother.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
I think Dougal could probably have really benefited from an antidepressant.
Oh, for sure.
Maybe more than anybody else on the show. Yeah? No?
Sure.
From
Or even
from what you guys describe him as, he sounds a bit up and down.
Yeah.
Oh,
little
for
manic.
sure.
Little manic, maybe.
Yeah,
Yep.
something.
Yep.
So Ned Gowan tries to calm them down, and he's like, "This is bad news. One of you is going to have to take it. One of you is going to." Or no, does he do that the next day?
That's not yet. It's the next day because first they spend the night drinking in the hole.
Right, that's right. Because this is when Geillis finally realizes
This
that
is
it's real. She's like, "They mean to kill us." Oh, what was your fucking clue? The pyres they were building, or what? Like, why did this take you so long?
God, I love this scene.
Mm-hmm. And
They're so fucking good. This is, people ignore Outlander, although, hey, cheers. Not the Golden Globes, which nominated Ketchum and Benson for a Golden Globe for Best Actress in a Drama Series.
excellent.
Although that's the only one. They really missed the boat on the old Tobias Musmus. Who is in the Underworld movie, by the way? Have you seen the ads for this? The Kate Beckinsale vampire movie, part 97?
Oh my God.
Tobias
And it's
Musmus.
not 97, it's 5, and I love that series. Don't take it away from me.
Great. I won't take it away from you, Janine. But he's in it. And you know what he's doing? The jaw thing.
Jacting?
God damn his job.
Yeah, jacting.
Nobody jacks like he does.
Especially when he's got junk oil.
I can't wait. All right. So this is the great scene between Claire and Geillis, their last night together in the thieves' hole, where they're both obviously very demoralized now and realize that they're going to die. And it's just them talking to each other. And how do they get to the quote? How does that happen?
First, Claire gets it out of Geillis that the reason that she has all this money stashed aside because she's a Jacobite.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's right.
And so Geillis
Does she
is.
say, "Oh, you're a fucking Jacobite"?
I believe so. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And then Geillis basically says, I will die knowing that I did something, and that's when the Nathan Hale comes out.
I only regret that I have but one life to live for my country, to give for my country.
Yeah.
Right? Isn't that the quote?
That's what Claire says. Yeah,
Claire
and
says it.
Geillis gives her the best look, the best.
Oh, it's maybe my favorite moment in the entire series.
It's so perfect because it's very clear that it stops her, but it's also, she's so good at hiding things that it's almost impossible to read, but you can tell it affects her like really strongly. And then she says, "Well put."
It's
Yeah.
just, I'm having this odd experience because even though I know Janine knows like the end point here, this being one of the episodes that Janine hasn't seen, I sort of don't want to spoil the wonderful thing that's coming.
Right.
So, and by wonderful, I mean like horrifying, but also amazing. Like it's like a fucking beautiful piece of writing.
I was
It's
screaming the
beautiful
first
on
time
the
I watched
book.
it.
It's beautiful in the show. It's like a transcendent moment of drama. It's exquisite. But that moment, that little tiny moment where you see her go, wow, okay.
Well put.
Oh, it's God, Lottie Verbeek. Again, all of you who got Agent Carter canceled can kiss my fucking ass.
Also, I'm sorry, it was nicely put. Nicely put. But anyway, it's great.
Also, don't they tell some jokes about eating rats or getting bit by rats? Or
She says they start like,
There's a
doing
bit
the
of drunk talk in there.
Yeah, they get some drunk chatting and some like bonding talk. And Geillis tells Claire that she's been talking in her sleep about Jamie. Well, who wouldn't?
Yeah.
And then
I'd be talking to basically about everything about Jamie.
They were talking about their boys, Dougal and
right. The
know.
politics made us a
Medard
match.
and
But,
Dougal.
oh, God, they're gross. And then some starlings fly over the thieves' hole in that weird formation. And she says something about the murmuration, which is the word for that thing where they swarm, like at the very beginning. And I'm like, oh, they do that to protect each other. Interesting.
Did we already get to if you actually are a witch? Now's the time.
I think it's the next morning.
Mm-hmm.
I think the next morning when they were.
Yeah, right before
It's
they pull
one of
them out.
it's one of my best cry chuckles in all of art.
So in the morning, they wake up. The guys come to get them. King Arthur and his fucktards come to get him. And then they're pulling him out of the hole. They have one moment where they both look at each other And Claire touches Geillis' pregnant belly, and they kiss hands or something and hold each other because it's like, here, we're going to die now. Let's go. And they get pulled out of the hole. They go past the pyres, and they've finished building the pyres, and they're looking nice and burny as they go past them. And then who do we see? Allison, who do we see? That's our favorite.
Oh, is it what's her fuck with the gopher face and the shit
Blair Witch
doing
stuff,
and the hair that obviously required a curling iron?
You guys are terribly descriptive.
Yeah. Is it what's her? No, I'm teasing it out. Is it lady fuck with the I'm gonna wear a corset under my cape and nothing else. I'm gonna praise virginity above all other things. I'm gonna put a Blair Witch doll under your bed just for giggles.
but I'm also going to sell you down the river.
And then eventually I'm gonna say, and your love. And make everybody
later
yell.
Ugh.
Is it Leary? Julie, is it Leary?
Yes, it's Leary. There she is, kind of grinning next to those Bernie pyres, and I'm like, Leary, you're next. You're next. So Claire sees her and is just like, oh, balls. Like she knows that that's why they're here.
Yeah.
And then Leary comes up to give her testimony. And she does the whole thing about Jamie was meant for me and he had my heart and something. And then he boned this woman who's obviously superior in the sack to me, who'll never look at me again. She's obviously a witch if she could take him away from me or some shit.
And then she gives the one fucking piece of evidence that Ned Gowan can't do a goddamn thing about, which is she says that she gave her a love potion.
Right.
Which is fucking true.
It is.
Because you remember that like act of kindness, she gives her some shit.
I think it was
in a
horse shit.
bottle. Yeah. And says, click your heels together 3 times and say, there's no place like love. There's no place like love. Whatever. It's one of those, 20th century. It's one of those moments.
It was literal horse shit.
Yeah.
In the jar.
Yeah.
Remember?
Only it's fucking true. That really happened.
Right.
But
And Ned Gowan can't shine that horse turd.
No.
no, but he might have, except for the fact that that is another moment where Claire shouts out that I was just trying to help you. I didn't make Claire actually verbally argues with Leary, and Ned is just like, bitch.
I told you to shut up. I gave you booze. What else does it take?
It's like every person learns, and it has nothing to do with gender, when to just stop talking. And I say that knowing full well that I have never learned that.
I don't know that.
But other people know it. Yeah, this is why Julie and I, once every 2.5 years, get shit canned in a bar and get into a shouting match that turns into a crying match.
It's true. That's 100%
That's
true.
real. That's real. Although it's been a while. We're overdue.
It has been.
We're overdue.
But it's also one of the things that I really enjoy about Claire is every time she just can't keep her mouth shut. I'm like, yeah, honey, I know. I understand.
I know why. I know why, because I would have a very hard time.
Yeah.
And then the weirdo Judge Butthole says something, and I wrote down, hey, Wapner, fuck off. And then in comes Father Asshole.
And this is this isn't in the book.
This was an
it's not.
incredible
No,
scene.
no, I don't think so.
It's like, it's a fucking goddamn masterwork of theater. That he comes in,
Father Bane, for
Father
those of us following along.
Bane, and he doesn't have the shit over his face. A different kind of Bane. Yeah, look this man up.
But when you see him,
I was looking up the Dark Knight.
when you see him, he is gonna look like exactly what you're thinking about right now.
yeah, like a really angry, full-size adult baby.
Like a horrible bad guy. Yeah.
Sorry, so
He is the priest in that town.
Oh, get this grand tour off my
So,
Tim McInnery is the name.
McHenry?
McHenry.
Tim
McHenry.
Timmy McHenry.
Is he Doctor Who?
Uh-oh.
Is he Doctor Who? No. Oh, no.
Okay.
So,
Sorry, don't let me distract you.
Father Bane, he comes in and it really seems like he's there to do the fucking moral Christian thing and say, I was wrong and
I
this
apologize.
woman was right. She saved this kid's life when I couldn't. And it was a profound moral failing on my part. Only he fucking knows that if he's like, no, I'm wrong and the witch is right, they're going to take that as proof that the woman is a fucking witch. He knows. You can see it. God, it's a great piece of acting. And it's not in the books.
That he's gonna leave town and leave the priesthood or whatever. And so everybody obviously thinks that she's the devil now.
It's a monologue that takes like 3 turns. He comes in all angry. She's the whore of Babylon, and then suddenly it takes this despondent turn, and then he has this like just barely a wink in the corner of his eye as he does that fight as the crowd
turns around towards the crowd. Oh, and you're just like, well,
he is.
That's it.
That actor and that character are # gowing for it.
yes,
indeed.
They are really gowing for it.
They really did. So at that point, it's just like, well, shrug. We're done.
Yeah,
That's
I
it.
mean,
we're dead.
Really,
we're dead.
you turned a man, you turned a clergyman against God.
Mm-hmm.
Or no?
He did say wicked allurement, though. I did enjoy that phrase.
That's lovely.
And that's with her wicked allurement.
That's when the clam jam gets especially fried.
Yeah.
There's a bit of a, dear listeners, in the best movie musical of the last 50 years, Beauty and the Beast, the Disney animated classic.
Yes.
When
Soon to be live.
Oh, I'm excited about it. It comes out the month of my birthday, and I don't like my birthday, and it's 2 weeks after, and that's how excited I am about it, is that I'm like, oh, that comes out 2 weeks after my birthday I don't care about. It's like it's a present for me.
Aww.
Anyway, I'm very excited. Hermione goes to Disney. I can't wait. Anyway, in the live-action animated classic, in the animated classic, Beauty and the Beast, when Gaston gets denied again and figures out that he was wrong and there really is a beast, and Belle is there and there really is a beast, he turns it into a fucking mob in 2 seconds.
The clam jam fry.
Yep,
a clam jam fry.
It's time to take some action, boys. It's time to follow. No memory of this?
No, I completely remember.
I just wasn't going to stop you.
I totally remember it.
They literally have pitchforks and flaming torches.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Don't
like
you carry those with you when you're wandering the countryside?
Yeah, I guess you just do.
You just have it. Well, you got to be ready.
My favorite lyric in this is he's a beast. He's got fangs, razor sharp ones, massive paws, killer claws. Hear him roar, and then something you don't remember. Hear him roar. See him foam, but we're not going home till he's dead. Good and dead.
Good and dead.
Kill the witch from the future.
Yes. I wrote down the note. Oh, I see. A man of God has to leave because the handmaid of Satan showed up. Mm-hmm. So that's what everybody thinks, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
so
and then they go in the back room, Ned Gowan.
Yeah, Ned, I don't know how he manages to get them to give him a recess, but he does. He's like, I must speak with my clients.
Well, it's because he's a white straight man. That's
yes,
how.
you're right.
Okay, everybody listens to them.
Yeah, I know. How does that work?
Yeah, what's it like? Janine, what's it like?
Oh, no. I'm not speaking for white men.
Good answer. Good answer.
Also, fair listeners, just so you know, Janine has an excellent winter beard going right now.
That reminds me. We were discussing this last night. Fans, listeners, where is the image or GIF of Chris Hemsworth's body with Janine's face on it? Please do this.
Please, just for Chris. All I want for Christmas is that GIF to use in the appropriate moment. Pretty much once a week.
Yeah, pretty much whenever I want to make Janine laugh.
I just encourage you to #gow for it.
Oh, I love that. Oh, I love how this post will go too, where it's #gow for it with my silly salt and pepper beard face on Sam Gowan's, Bill
Patterson's bod. That would be awesome, though. All right, so
and if you make it 92 seconds long, that it'll be appropriate in the next episode too.
Hey.
We'll get there.
We'll get there. So they go in the back room. Everybody is very distraught because it's like, wow, that was some star testimony on Father Asshole's part. And Ned Gowan's like, well, all we can do is save one of you.
I hate to break it to you, but you're both fucked. So the only way to do this is if you give them some blood, basically. Like, they need to kill somebody. So who are they going to kill? Decide. And he basically lays out, like, they would rather kill Geillis, but at least Geillis could keep her goddamn mouth shut. So, let's figure this out. And Claire and Geillis both kind of say, we need a fucking minute. Give us a minute. And he does.
Mhm.
And then we get to maybe the best scene in the series.
I agree.
Definitely one of the best pieces of acting by Lottie
Yes.
Verbeek with the.
And 100%, in my opinion, the most memorable scene that does not involve fucking.
Yes, coming up. Or that scene itself, or in a moment.
If we think of them as a unit.
As together, okay.
Yes.
Because the other one is like, they're both so good, but the other one is
but
so dramatic.
if you force me to choose, I would choose this one.
Mhm. It's a great sequence.
Because of the acting.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so good.
Ladies, I just feel in my heart that we can't actually proceed unless Janine has seen this scene.
That's true.
Wait, Janine hasn't seen this scene?
No.
Oh,
I just think that maybe we need to play yakety sax for a minute and have Janine see this scene. We're doing this two-parter. I really apologize. Next week, the episode will be shorter. This one will be longer because of the two halves, this is the half that has fucked with us the most.
This is the half about a witch
And that
trial.
would be true even if we weren't on the cusp of a Donald Trump presidency.
That would be true
But
even
we
if we
are.
weren't all fucked and staring at our own pyres.
even if we weren't mentally calculating all the witnesses at our own individual witch trials and going, God
Yeah.
damn.
Oh, God. I'm crying again.
I got verified on Twitter this week, and that probably means that I'm further up in line.
Yeah. Oh, you're first. There's no question. You're
Yeah.
first.
Oh, I'm not first. Come on.
Out of
no,
this
I
group.
just meant of the three of us.
Yeah,
Oh,
out of
yeah.
this group.
Of this group, I'm first.
Yeah.
But I'm well behind, Hillary.
Yeah,
Oh.
she's first.
Oh,
All right, but
Okay,
hold on.
okay,
Hold
no,
on.
no,
God,
hold on.
she probably would gladly be first.
Oh.
We're going to take a break and
know
we're
what?
going to watch that scene.
Wait, hold on. May I close with
Yes.
that thought and this quote? I only regret that I have but one life to lose for my country.
Now yakety sax and then me.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Holy fuck! Holy fuck! That
Yeah.
So, Janine, how'd you feel about that?
all sorts of confused holy fuckness.
Okay.
Like, Jesus. Like, okay, yeah. So, like, you see the fact that, like, you're fucked. You are just fucked if you get accused of being a witch. Just fucking fucked. And then, fucking Geillis. Fucking champion of the fucking planet. And then to watch her, like, go, I'm a witch, tear her fucking clothes off? Jesus, like,
Just so Claire and Jamie can get away.
yeah!
Just to get them away.
Holy
Yeah.
fuck!
Mm-hmm.
God
Yeah.
damn.
I just want to die.
Uh-huh.
Like
Damn.
it would be less awful if I didn't feel like we regularly crucified women in the world for being anything other than invisible. Not to, politicize, not to go full SJW,
Oh my God. Shh. Oh,
but
who made that up?
it is very upsetting.
Mhm.
And Lottie Verbeek is a really good actress.
Spectacular.
Catherine Zeta-Jones
But Matt does a great
is
job.
really one. Ned Gowan,
Mhm.
fucking busting in and out.
So, what he watched was the entire sequence where Geillis tries to tell Claire that she is from the future.
We went from basically Ned saying one of you has to die, and it should really be you, Geillis, because you're a fucking witch.
because everybody already thinks you are one.
So that's an
Oh.
easier sell. I can sell
Yeah,
that.
I mean, I can totally see it.
to
You practice your
Geillis-
murky arts.
Yeah.
to Geillis being carried out, screaming about carrying the child of Satan.
In her
That's what
tiny
we had
red
Janine
shoes.
watch. Oh God, those red shoes.
Mm-hmm. So,
Which they kept in the costume room for so long
what are the things?
until they magically fit her. I just love her.
What are the things we learned? Well, first of all, we learned that Geillis thought that Claire was there for a reason, but she wasn't.
If I had to pick one line in the entire show that was the best delivered line of them all, it would be that first, "Why are you here?"
Mm-hmm.
So
she thought Claire was there for a purpose. Claire obviously was not. This freaked her out. She had to accept the fact that it had all meant nothing. Everything that she had tried to do for the Jacobite cause. Spoiler alert, not really spoiler alert. I don't know. Nah, not at this point. Everything she had tried to do didn't mean shit. And here she was. And Ned comes back in and is like, "What are you going to do?" And Lottie Verbeek pushes past him like, "I guess I'm going to a fucking barbecue."
Wait, you know what? I've seen this episode so many times, and it didn't actually occur to me that no one on the show says fucking except for Claire. Except for the one time that Jamie says, "What's as fucking?"
Not just fucking, but fucking barbecue.
Also, barbecue is like
Yeah.
something that probably in Scotland they would have
Can you
absolutely no idea.
Janine, can you go to etymology.com and look up barbecue, please?
I can tell you part of it. I think it's
me.
from the American West Indies. I think it's a Latin root, barbacoa.
Hashtag
No, that sounds right.
spoiler section.
Yeah. Oh, does that? Oh, wow. I just learned something that I stumbled upon that on accident. But I
Sorry,
guess
bro.
our Outlander universe is headed to slavery.
What is going on here? Sorry, I'm trying to look it up. Barbecue etymology.
Barbecue. But anyway, so Geillis, Lottie Verbeek, bless her. Geillis says
Robbed
that.
of an Emmy. Robbed of an
Yeah,
Emmy.
bullshit. So
Just so, real tiny, real brief soapbox. I know this is our long episode, but Jesus Christ, some of you out there someday are going to have an opportunity to vote for shit or to be a Nielsen family or something. And just please remember that everybody fucking ignores anything that's genre. We just, Star Wars was nominated for Best Picture the year that it premiered, and Lord of the Rings got some attention, and that is about it. So please, for the love of God, anytime you have an opportunity to be like, let's reward this thing, this romance or time travel or space or comic books or whatever the fuck, any of it, just aliens, please. If it's good and it's one of those things, pick it, because no one else will, because they think it's garbage.
just because it's fun to watch doesn't mean it's bad.
Yeah, for real. For real.
And also, just understand that the whole concept of genre, these are all false constructs. Last year, Kazuo Ishiguro wrote a book called The Buried Giant, which had ogres and other magical things in it. And when people interviewed him saying, "Why would a serious literary person write a book like this?" He's like, "I don't understand what you're talking about or why anything you're saying is remotely valid.
Yep.
I wrote a story like every other story I've ever written. This one had ogres in it. What is your fucking problem?" And it was fantastic.
Brief Outlander anecdote. The year that the book Outlander came out, it got nominated for Romance Novel of the Year, and romance novelists were furious because it does not conform to what a romance novel is. But because there's lots of boning in it, it's a romance novel. Only there's actually there are all kinds, and I don't read romance novels, so I can't speak to it too much, but there are all kinds of specific things associated with romance novels. First of all, romance novels don't come in series.
Right.
Second, it's woman meets stranger or a certain resistance, seduction, bloody blah 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 blah, and they're standalone.
That's me hearing
So
turds.
Outlander was either nominated or won. I think maybe it won, and people were furious because
they
it's not
considered it a
romance
sci-fi
novel.
book or something like a.
Because they didn't care what it was. They knew it wasn't a romance. So eventually, it took a
depressing.
long time, but eventually, after writing to bookstores, Diana Gabaldon got it reclassified as not a romance novel. Because, first of all, it isn't.
Mm-hmm.
And second, the way that we categorize literature is bullshit. So Outlander is no longer, when the next Outlander, which I think it's Tell the Bees That I Am Gone is the title of the next Outlander book. Somebody out there who's listening who knows more about it than me can verify, but I think based on following her on Facebook, I think it's called Tell the Bees That I'm Gone is the next one.
Bye, bees.
Tell the Bees That I'm Gone. Anyway, it's probably about death. So when it comes out, it will not be on the romance bestseller list, and it's because the author pushed so strongly to have the book recategorized to a category where it fit better.
fantasy or sci-fi or
I don't know.
historical
It's
fiction.
sort of one of the things I love about it is it doesn't actually fit anywhere.
Right.
It's all those things.
Right.
So fiction, I mean, you know what it is? Definitely.
It's fiction.
Fiction.
Yeah.
It is definitely fiction, and people fuck everything. Anyway, Patty.
All right. Anyway, Patty. So we all know what happens. Claire has to sell Geillis up the river, but she refuses to and instead says, this woman is no witch. No, it's not true. And then they start to take Claire down from the box, whatever, and she starts screaming at them, you're all murderers.
And you're going to hell.
You're going to roast in hell. And I mean, like, Claire kind of sounds like a witch would say that.
And then the judge is like, you won't use that kind of language.
So take her shirt off and whip the shit out of her. And then they do.
And
it's
Jamie somewhere
very
heard the
upsetting.
sound of whipping
And woke
and
up
came running.
and rode. What's his horse's name? What's his horse's name?
Whip back.
What's his horse's name?
Donus.
He rode
Donus?
Donus like 400
It's
miles in 30 seconds because Jamie can do that.
No,
If he can flick a bean in 92 seconds, he can ride a horse 400 miles.
Spoiler for the next
Spoiler.
episode.
Just saying. Anyway, Patty. So he shows up, which I have to admit
It's convenient.
is a little ridiculous, especially
Don't
after I know, but especially after
It is Donus, by the way. Donus.
good job, especially after the Fort Williams show up and all that. I'm just kind of like,
The man has really good
vey.
timing.
Yeah, oy vey, come
Or
on.
bad timing, considering the fact that he himself. Well, and the fact that he himself had been whipped to within an inch of his life, and he happens to walk in at the exact moment that they're whipping his wife.
triggering his PTSD. And
Yeah.
But then he has whatever. You know what? It's a hot shit. He has a hot moment.
No, it's
like,
great.
I swore an oath to God to protect this woman, and if you think your opinion means more than the Almighty, then I disagree.
Which is,
to differ.
but while all this is happening, there's a great piece of silent acting happening from Lottie Verbeek. They keep
Oh,
cutting
God,
to her
she's so
as she's
good.
watching Claire getting whipped and making the decision of, you know what?
I'm doing this.
One of us has got to go. Gowan was right. It's going to be me. How do I do this? Well, I proclaim myself a bride of Satan. That's how I do
And
this.
how does she do that?
She stands up and just says it.
Let me tell you that I love this show, and I have gotten to write about it professionally exactly twice. Once was last year. I guess technically it's this year too, but last year was a bigger stand. At the AV Club, we do individual TV ballots, and we can annotate our ballots. So I did an annotated ballot, and also we did a list of what were you surprised was left off our list. And I was the lone Outlander. I was like, where the fuck are all of you on Outlander? What is your problem? Like, why are you not watching this? It's one of the best acted shows on TV, and my God, the fucking.
Yeah.
It's basically exactly
shouldn't
what I
that
said.
be enough?
But the other one is we did a mid-season awards last year where we proposed arbitrary awards. And the one that I got to do that I proposed was best performance by a scar in a supporting role. Because what she decides to do, because she's brilliant, maybe nuts, but brilliant, is to rip down the side of her dress and show everybody her smallpox vaccination scar as proof that she's a witch.
Because that's the mark of the devil.
And it is genius, and that's straight from the book.
And Claire sees it and then obviously realizes that when she said 1968 in the little side room earlier, what she meant was she came here from 1968. Oh.
Interestingly, in the book, Claire doesn't get 1968 until this comes later in the season, but when she meets Dougal in the cave. So Dougal says that Geillis sent a message and it was 1968. So in the
They changed
book,
it for this.
Yeah.
That's
she
interesting.
all she sees is the smallpox scar.
Well,
But she
this
knows.
is-
She just doesn't know from when.
Right. Well, this was a very cool adaptive choice then for them
Yeah.
to say that so that you know. And then she sees it and immediately recognizes it for what it is because she too has the mark of the devil on her, which wouldn't have gone well if they had to strip her down and pyre
but
her.
Also, she's a goddamn medical professional.
Of course.
Yeah.
So, Geillis strips it down, shows everybody the mark of the devil. Everybody, the clam jam fry is all like.
But also, I think she very astutely in that moment notices that didn't rile everybody up enough.
Yeah.
That didn't quite distract them enough
wasn't-
for Claire and Jamie to start running.
Strong enough. What did I
I'm
do?
gonna have to rip my bodice open.
But before she does it, she, in pure, no one would do this in real life fashion, looks at Claire, whispers, "Run!" and then rips off her clothes.
I'm the bride of Satan.
I'm carrying Satan's baby.
And because she's very obviously pregnant, right? You see the pregnant thing in her boobs.
Great makeup.
Everybody
Great makeup.
flips
Don't know
out.
if they got a moderately pregnant body double or if it was just really good. Janine, what?
I'm curious. Yeah, great makeup because she wasn't pregnant.
No, but I mean, I think really, if you look at it, at least the very front shot of her when she first happens, it really does just look like she's pushing her gut out.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then it's only when she's being
carried
carried by
out.
the crowd that it looks like they put a prosthetic on her.
Right.
So I think it was a combination of the two,
It was
probably.
really well
So
But no, it was excellent.
when a woman rips her shirt open, obviously everyone's got to take a little peekaloo. So everyone turns around. Clam Jam Fry freaks out, and Jamie and Claire take that moment to cheese it and get the fuck out, which they do. They do manage to run out and turn around just in time to see. Oh, we forgot a Leary moment, but I'm going to let it go because I don't want to talk about her anymore.
Oh, just real quick. I will dance on your ashes. 2 things.
Nope.
3 things. 1. The phrase is I will dance on your grave. 2.
I think it's piss on your asses, right?
Well, also dance. Either is fine. 2. Dancing on someone's ashes, that's only going to get your feet dirty.
Yeah.
Sounds to me like the dead person wins. And 3, nope.
Fair
That
enough.
was when she was getting whipped, but whatever. So we move forward. Geillis is being carried out bodily. We get to see the red shoes. We're all sad for a minute. They pull down some bullshit tapestry from the church to cover her flesh because obviously a woman's body is just too much for fucking Wapner and his buddies. Fucking Ito and fucking
Oh, Ito.
Dread.
You had to go with... you went with Ito and Dread?
I don't know. I'm just thinking Judge. So that's kind of where we're calling this one, right? We're calling it here because the next episode will be much shorter, but it will be about Claire and Jamie's travels after this event.
Before we get into the scales, which are going to be short, because what
I
the fuck
can't
do we have to
do
say?
it.
Nothing.
I can't do it. It's everything's burning.
We'll find a way to communicate that, Julie. But
Okay.
I went to Lottie Verbeek's Wikipedia page
Yeah.
to find an answer. Was Lottie Verbeek pregnant at the time of Outlander filming? Probably not, but let's check. And I clicked on the tab on her Wikipedia page that says personal life. And here's what it says. Verbeek speaks Dutch, English, French, German, and Italian.
Of course she does.
That is the end of the entire section. Also,
That's
she is a
fabulous.
classically trained soprano.
Mm-hmm.
She's also in The Fault of Our Stars, which no one told me to not read in a bar. So I read it in a bar and then sobbed in public for 2 hours.
Oh, I would have told you not to. Everybody I know who's read that book, I said, the last 50 pages, have a bottle of whiskey and be in a safe place.
Yeah. Yikes. She also is not getting enough film work. What is wrong with you fucking people?
She had a great run on Agent Carter.
She did,
Yeah.
and then you all canceled it.
She was on the
When she
Black-
says you all, I'm one of the people she's talking about. I still haven't
me
seen
too.
Agent
You
Carter.
know
She
what?
knows
It just
this.
means that Agent Carter is out there waiting for you.
Yeah.
I know.
And
Back
then
and
you'll
rewatch.
feel the shame of the fact that you got it canceled.
She's
I
also
know.
on the Blacklist, which is
Oh,
not the best show in the world.
Is that the one with
Make
James
that money for
Spader?
Big.
yep, that's Spader.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I went to college with his. I don't think she lasted past the first season. But the woman agent who was connected to him for a long time.
I don't know.
Yeah, she didn't last.
What do we have to do to get Lottie Verbeek on Crazy Ex-Girlfriend? I'll also accept RuPaul's Drag Race. Maybe
Oh my
both.
God.
Maybe both.
What if Lottie Verbeek was a guest judge on RuPaul's Drag Race?
I would hope that halfway through the judging, she would stand up, rip off her corset, show her tits,
And say,
yell, "I'm the bride of Satan."
I gotta say, I'm looking up because now I'm gonna do this with all these people we get really interested in. I'm gonna look at their Twitter. Lottie Verbeek is on Twitter, and her handle is also Lottie Verbeek 1. People, stop stealing handles.
Yeah, who are these people?
God
Quit being
damn
dicks.
Do we need a hashtag for her?
Hashtag excellence. Like, I can't. Is there anything else?
We need something more unique so that it's
Hashtag
trackable.
red shoes.
No, because they're There's that whole movie.
Oh, gross.
Oh, yeah.
Also, The Diaries.
Oh.
Hashtag monkey vest.
Hashtag monkey vest.
Janine for the win.
All right. Since Ned Gowan
You're going to have to go to...
It's not on
Still
Twitter.
do it, though. Still do
send
it.
him an email. Think about what that's going to mean to this character actor who puts in the work day in and day out and still has an email contact form on his website.
Hashtag
You still have to
Gowan
do
for
that.
it. You
and
can do
then
it.
find Lottie See, we after the Empirical Growler, because we really needed a drink, we switched to Samuel Smith's Winter Welcome Ale, which is a 6% ABV, and now I'm switching my syllables. Anyway, you find Lottie Verbeek on Twitter, Lottie Verbeek1, and tell her how good she was in this episode. And because almost all of you are female, except for you, Neil. And maybe you, Kevin.
He's not listening.
He doesn't
Oh,
listen.
Kevin listens.
He listens when we do a Dudelander.
No, Kevin listens.
I don't believe it.
Kevin, if you listened, please tweet at Janine and Julie and say, yes, I listen, motherfuckers, and then do hashtag excellence. No, but find Lottie. What did we just decide the hashtag was going to be for this?
Hashtag monkey vest.
Find Lottie Verbeek1 on Twitter and tell her what this episode meant to you. And you are mostly women, so I know it affected you. And if you rewatched it with us, I'm guessing it affected you more. It certainly affected me more. It affected Julie more.
I'm still
guessing
crying.
it affected Jen more.
Mm-hmm.
It means something different right now. So find Lottie Verbeek on Twitter. Hashtag monkey vest. And say thank you for doing such a good job in this very brave episode of television that people fucking ignored because people hate genre and women.
Yeah. Mic drop.
So, scales. On a scale of Ken Burns baseball to Burn It All Down, where does this episode fall?
Burn it all down.
All right. Thank you for listening to this episode of Outlander Drunkcast and Outlander Podcast. We would like to thank our Patreon patrons, Amanda Newton, Beth Locke, Friday Payton, Jen Lander Drunklin, who just joined Twitter as Jen Lander Drunklin, and the one, the only, the great, the unrivaled, the mother of our guest, Kathleen Moniz.
Hi, Mom.
Yay.
As well as all of our other Patreon patrons who are giving us less money, which is still appreciated, especially because most of you are probably broke. Please, if you like the show, review us on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and elsewhere. Find us on Facebook and give us a like. Follow us on Twitter for the ridiculous hashtags and also because we tweet all the shit you say. To Nicole Gladwin, who sent us the picture of a marking on a stage that says D rocks. I just salute the hell out of you. Do everything that you want to because we love you and we appreciate you listening and would love to get more people in what we think is a really fun party. And if you, like listener Molly Mullen, are going to be in Chicago at any time, please just send us a message. We will come meet you for a drink.
When's she going to be here?
I told you this. We're trying to figure out a way for her to be on the show.
I surely don't remember. I'm drunk all the time.
I know, honey. I know. Please let us know you're going to be in Chicago, especially if you live here already, and we will hang out, and Jen will come with us, and so will Janine. And his beer,
totally.
really, it's magnificent.
Yes. It's good.
He's stroking it right now.
Like you would.
So on behalf of Samuel Smith's Winter Welcome Ale, the bag of garlic pretzels I'm looking at right now and about to eat, the smallpox vaccine I don't have because medicine is advanced,
And the bottle of junk oil that I have
And
in
the
this
bottle of
little
junk
bag
oil.
over here.
Oh man, this next
we
Six
bid
episodes.
you a good even and hope
When did you turn into
That
FDR?
are not about to be burned at the stake. And if you are, that they built you a beautiful pyre.
Bye.